Welcome back. Most of you already know our village, all tiny and tightly packed. Around 20 small houses, wall to wall, with no road access inside the village, and on top of that, our 3 houses are tightly connected with only 2 gardens in between to work with. And here's why that matters. The whole village is not connected to the sewer yet, which means we need to find a legal and safe way to deal with wastewater. Meaning, we have to find a spot for a septic tank or a treatment facility and dig a hole for it. The rules are strict, as they should be. You cannot just dig a hole and let everything sink into the ground. If there's no sewer, the law requires either a fully watertight tank or certified biological treatment unit. Here's the even harder part. The local municipality that's in charge of pumping up the tanks and disposing the water say the unit needs to be maximum 20 meters from the access point where their truck can come, minimum 1 meter from the neighboring parcel, and minimum 3 meters from the water pipes. So as you might have figured out already, in a village like ours, that's almost impossible. So before we even install the actual tank, we need to answer our first question. Where can we legally dig this hole and still make it work? For the ones that have been tracking our progress, you may remember that the last thing we did was started with the roof build, right? So we set up the beams, we did rafter OSB, and then the weather stopped us. We had a constant rain for almost last 2 months. It's so bad that not even my grandpa, who turned 90 the other day, can remember it being so. We didn't want to risk. We're new to this, so we just covered the roof with the tarp, as you can see it, and we left it so. We finally have some sun on the horizon. Today is still a bit windy, but from next week we can continue with the roof, so you can expect that video soon. But in the meantime, I wanted to do something. So roof continuing soon, but for now, let's dig this hole. You remember we said one toilet here in the little house is going to be exactly on the other side of that wall, and then the other toilet we're going to have here. So the most logical solution and easiest would be to put a tank here in between. But the issue is the space. So the smallest tank that we found that covers 3 to 6 people exactly for our house is 2.7 long and 120 wide. That would fit here. We have approximately maybe 250 between these 2 walls, but we shouldn't do that here. Time to explain the 45-degree rule so you can understand why we shouldn't do it here. So let's assume this is our 2 walls. We're looking at the big house, little house behind us. We're in that small inner yard. The foundations are 30 centimeters. Now, the weight of the wall is distributed in the soil, not just straight down, but also sideways, creating this slope area under the foundations that slopes at 45 degrees, and it's called zone of influence. This area should never be touched or undermined when digging around the foundations. We have 2.20 meters from wall to wall, and since our hole is 120 wide, that leaves us with 50 centimeters on each side between the edges of the hole and each wall. And that's where we run into trouble. You can see if we're going 120 down, before we reach the depth of the hole, we intersect with that zone of influence. And that's a big no. It should never happen because we're undermining the foundations of the walls. Now, let's check the situation on the other yard, the bigger one. We have our 2 walls again, our foundations, 30 centimeters deep each, and our zone of influence. Now, between the wall and wall, we have 4.20 meters there, which is way bigger. Our hole is 120, that leaves us with 1.50 meters on each side. And you can already see a difference here. As we're drawing the maximum depth of the hole, which is 1.20 meters, you can see that we're not interfering the zone of influence. And why we know that? There's a simple rule. Since these zones of influence are sloped down 45 degrees, for them to cover a horizontal length of 1.50 meters, when they meet the hole, they're basically already going to be 150 deep. Our hole is 120, so we're left with this nice untouched space in between. And we're safe. So what we'll do, instead of digging here, we'll connect that pipe to a pump and then run it here, let it meet the other toilet, and together they'll go to the other side of that house, which is here, where we have more space and we can safely dig and install our septic tank. We'll talk about the tank itself more in the upcoming video when we'll be installing it. But just quickly, we'll use a biological wastewater treatment system, which uses natural bacteria to dissolve organic waste and then purifies it before discharging it in the soil under. It does need to be pumped out though. I think once or twice per year, depending on the usage. So that's another factor why we want to install it here, because it's closer to where the truck can come. Okay, let's measure. Cool, that's measuring details, and now I have these marks. Wait, let me show you. Basically 120, 270 there, here, and then back here to this one. Yeah, we didn't manage to get exactly 150 from both walls, but we came pretty close. The thing is, this wall and the house behind me are kind of joining together as we go back towards that side, but we have more than 130 everywhere, so yeah, that's plenty. Only this wall here, between that and the beginning of our hole, we have around 1 meter, but that wall is going to be probably 1 meter high. It's not carrying anything behind, it's not supporting wall, and it's going to be very low, so all good there. Wait, before we start hard, let's do something. So I'm digging a hole that's 120 times 280, also 120 meter deep. Plus, I have to bring all of that material all the way there on the parking behind that house, which is around 150 to 200 meters. Write down in the comments, what do you think? How long it'll take me to dig this and bring it all the way there? And so the digging started. Wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow. And already after a few wheelbarrows, I encountered my first bigger rock. I thought that that's gonna be the rock that's gonna finish my hand digging here, and I'm gonna need an excavator. But yeah, got it out. There's another one here, hopefully not that big. I can already see it moving a little bit, so let's see. Look at my hands. I forgot my gloves. I'm so sweaty, but honestly after 2 months of rain, even sweat feels amazing. I really needed to go out and do something. We're just plopping on the couch like couch potatoes. So all the energy piled up, and that's why I'm digging so fast today. And by the way, look at my water gallon there. It's 6 liters and it will be spent today. What a rock. This is huge. Let's try to somehow roll it out of here. Cool, that's out. Done for today. The sun is going down and I dug almost half, and look, this is the byproduct. I have 2 big blisters here, but yeah, couldn't go any other way. Too much digging and I forgot my gloves. I'm gonna go home. I finished my tank of water, 4 liters today. I'm so hungry, my belly's working, so I'll go eat something good. And yeah, tomorrow I plan to finish this hole. Let's see if I can. Imagine what a surprise. I'll be competing against the rain today again. I have to dig fast and hopefully finish this before it comes pouring down. Let me show you why it's so hard to dig here in this terrain. So I'm constantly taking out rocks, you can see here, and then I just took out 2 of these huge big boys. Look at that. and that one that I took out yesterday. So yeah, and there are a couple more big ones. So yeah, it's really rocky ground, but at least there are two good sides to this. First, I can leave those rocks here because we'll be using them, and then second, look at this beauty here. This rock is perfect. Has such a nice face. You almost don't even need to chisel it. And then this one as well. So yeah, we'll be able to use them, great, but in the meantime, it's so hard to get them out of here.
Jer ja znam kako smo mi u hotelu, pa znam se vlada potom.
Da.
Znaš ti kako Arhimedov zakon glasi?
Kako?
Ko se utopi, nek se spasi. Pomalo. Da, žuri.
Gdje žuriš?
Neću ni imali kući požar, znaš kako se.
Pa je, uvijek.
Koji su mokri?
Okay, finally, we met a rock that defeated me. This thing weighs 120 kilos, I would say. Trying to get this out by myself would just be completely unproductive. I would hurt my back, and yeah, I need to know my limits. It did defeat me, but not for long. Let me get my tugu Makita. By the way, let me introduce you to a typical working truck. So you basically have a bit of everything. There's a TV from my mom's house which needs to be fixed, so yeah, I took it and it's been here already for 2 weeks. Will probably be for another 3. Then we have some bags. Here's some, yeah, and then of course Makita, and then bunch of things that, yeah, you just throw inside and then forget about it. And we have look at this, few rocks that I still need to dump there next to the house. Anyway, let's take our Makita and go break that rock. Ta-da! Guess who won now? I didn't want to chop it in 2 little pieces because this rock is absolutely beautiful. Look at this. No way. So nice, clean, and it's very, very, very hard. It has a perfect face. You can already use this somewhere into a wall, even of the house, and it would look perfect. So yeah, now we have a lot of these good rocks, and look at these 2. I got lucky and the rock split in half at one point, and look, now I have 2 huge faces. Yeah, I've been fighting with these rocks today. There have been 3 very big ones, and yeah, they really slow me down. Luckily, Makita saved me. Without it, I couldn't continue, and I would have to call excavator. Today I've been digging already for what, 7 hours. Been enough. Pao is making delicious goulash and I'm so hungry. I want to eat. And luckily, look at the clouds. It's been like this the whole day. In Makarska and also in Split there, you can already see there, it's raining, yeah, throughout the whole day, and here, nothing. Cool. Yeah, let me tell you, this is quite some hole. I'm almost there. Today is not going to be too productive. As you see, the rain again ruined my plans, but it's okay. You saw the most of it. I got to about almost 1 meter, so we still have only 20 centimeters left to dig. I'll finish that these days. We need to fly quickly to Berlin throughout the weekend, so we'll finish here and catch you on the next one. Until then, take care.